Hi, this is Kylie Herbert, and my book talk is going to be about Finding Winnie, the true story of the world's most famous bear by Lindsay Maddock. And I'm a kindergarten teacher, so this book would probably be best for primary K through 2, and it's actually a nonfiction book. Um, it won the Caldecott Award, and it tells the story of Captain Harry Colborne, who was from Winnipeg, and he went off to war. But on his way, he found a trapper in a train station that had a baby bear, and Harry felt so bad for the bear that he bought him for $20, which at that time was a lot of money. So then he named the bear Winnie so that he would never forget his home of Winnipeg. And then Harry and Winnie proceed to go on some adventures across Canada, across the Atlantic Ocean, and they finally get to Europe. And Winnie becomes the mascot of his 2nd Canadian Infantry Brigade. But then, oh no, they get called off to go fight in World War I. So, Harry takes Winnie, to the London Zoo and leaves him there. But then it's okay because Christopher Robin comes along, makes friends with Winnie, and then turns out his father is an author and he wrote all the books about Winnie the Pooh's adventures. One of the cool parts about this book is that it's told through the point of view of Harry's great granddaughter, who is telling a bedtime story to her son. And Harry's great granddaughter is actually the author of this story, Lindsay Maddock. So that's pretty cool. And there's Winnie the Pooh. Okay, so in the back of the book, there's some really cool actual photographs. This is Christopher Robin and Winnie, and this is real life Christopher Robin and Winnie. So that's pretty cool. And then here is real life Harry Colborne and Winnie and the illustrated version. Pretty close. So, one of the comprehension strategies that I would use with my kindergartners before we read this book is knowledge mapping, where you figure out what their background knowledge is about a subject and build it up before you start reading the story. Because I would assume that kindergartners would have an idea about Winnie the Pooh, and it'd be interesting to see their understanding of Winnie the Pooh change as we actually read through the story. So, pretty simple. There's Winnie the Pooh in the middle, and then their ideas of their prior knowledge goes around the outside. So that would be before we read the story. And then as we read the story, when we got to about the middle, we would do a 3-minute pause, which is where you set a timer and each kid has a partner, and then they are supposed to summarize. So I would tell my kinders, tell your partner what you are, what, let me start over. Tell your partner what we've read so far. And they would both tell each other what they read so far, and then they would question the story. And I found a really cute song about questioning that they could use. I'm not sure that the sound is going to work, so I put the link on there for you. Oh, I don't know if it's working. It's working for me. Anyway, if you go about down here, there's a fun little song that I think kindergartners would like to help them question a story. So anyway, you set the timer for 3 minutes. That gives them a sense of urgency about what they're doing. And then after 3 minutes is up, you continue to read. So, next, after reading, we would do a story map. And this looks a lot simpler than the one that was in our textbook. But for kindergartners, obviously it has to be. They're drawing a picture of the setting, the characters, the beginning and the middle and the end. And I'm assuming I wouldn't read this book just once. We might fill this story map out after a second or even a third reading, so we really get all of these elements down before we start, or maybe as we go. So, that is how I would help them to understand the story after we are done. And then, for a little fun and wellness connection, our district's really big on wellness these days, so we could incorporate a Winnie the Pooh brain break in this little funny dancing song that he does. Which I'm not sure you can hear this either, so I put the link right there for you. Anyway, you should really consider reading this book with your primary kids. The illustrations are beautiful, and there's just so much you could do with it. You could connect it to history, you could connect it to science, learn a little bit about bears and their habitats while you're at it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my book talk. I'm looking forward to hearing all of yours. Okay, bye!